Welcome back. Last time we did a 2003 comedy anime called Daikoida. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and check out the video. Today we're going to be looking into the world of Leadale or into the land of Leadale. So I was watching this when it first came out week to week. I made it about 3 episodes in. It definitely looked interesting, but I never finished it. So at this point, it looks like the show is done and I'll be able to watch the whole thing in one sit down and really enjoy it. Alright, so in the land of Leadale is another isekai. Started as a light novel, turned into a manga. We only have 12 episodes available right now, but it is ongoing, and it's made by Maho Films. I don't know who Maho Films is, but alright, let's go TrashBag versus anime. So we start off the series with our main character, Kana, waking up in a motel, hotel, Holiday Inn, not knowing where she is. Then we go over a brief history of the world as she comes downstairs and talks to the manager. The world used to be split apart into 7 parts, and then they were united under 3 different banners that are still at war today. We find out that she was hospitalized, but while she was in the hospital, she was playing this game. During her playthrough of the game, she became a legend, known as the Silver Ringed Witch. She was one of the 13 heroes who had their own towers and they were above all players. Now, the story is still pretty new, so I don't want to spoil anything, so we're going to keep it to a minimum about the story and more about the pacing and the vibes of it. Pacing wise, it feels like the story is constantly progressing every episode. There's something always going on, but there's certain tones the show hits that feel unappreciated because they don't spend enough time on it. There's one incident where she gets depressed, and I was hoping that they really looked into the effects of what this would have on her as a character, but they glanced past it quickly. The reason why the fast pace of this show really works is it gives the illusion of a true MMO. It always feels like there's a mission or quest or something going on, and they definitely emphasize this through the dialogue of Kana. When it comes down to the bad side, is it feels like the show has low stakes. Everything that happens in the show that's problematic doesn't have any weight to it. So serious situations don't feel so serious. Fights and destruction don't feel so bad because everything gets fixed. But I still fell in love with the world building, the designs, and the people of each town. For example, the town that Kana wakes up in is very supportive of her achievements, and every time she gets back, they drink to her accomplishments, and this ends up becoming a running gag, and you start to love them for it. Over the progression of the story, every city or group of people that you meet have these quirks about them that are just super lovable, and I think that's the best part about this story. The comedy in this series was right up my alley. I almost loved everything about it, from the slapstick to the witty dialogue. There were just certain problems I had to, we'll get into in a second, but they had one of the best uppercuts I've seen in an anime, and I could not stop laughing. Let me know your favorite anime dramatic uppercut in the comments below. The worst part about the comedy for me was when they were trying to mesh together the cutesy with the aggression or aggressive comedy. It just didn't sit right with me. I didn't think the show was silly enough to pull it off. It was just a miss every time. So we still have to talk about this fan service. This show is not really known for fan service, but there is the one episode. It's not a beach episode. It is a hot springs episode though, so you still get a little bit of fan service, which it's not that bad. It's quick. All right, enough about that. Let's talk about the best part of the story, and that's gonna be my boy Shining Saber and Coral. I love the dynamic between these two. I don't want to spoil too much once again, so to keep it sweet, we'll just say it's the boys. I really appreciated the story design in the series. I really loved how the story was woven together with little bits and pieces that add up to a bigger event. Not gonna say what led up to it, but the bird monster from Gantz end up popping up in this series, and I really appreciated it. If you know, you know, but this all starts from a little event in one of the earlier episodes and builds up into something pretty spectacular, and I definitely like how it was done. The combat in the series is pretty good. It's nothing spectacular, no crazy Sakuga or anything like that, but they do get the emphasis of big attacks in there, especially when Kana does her attacks going up against a big attack. You definitely have the feeling of how big the attack is. Take a shot every time I said attack. One thing this show does really well is wholesome. In my opinion, if they were to focus more on that aspect of the show would have a really great identity and something that stands out from every other isekai. The ending of the series is a really good example of that wholesome vibe that they should really step into just give the show identity, but I don't want to spoil anything, but you will see if you do end up watching for yourself. Overall, I love the series, love the cozy vibes, the world building. The story was pretty great as well, but feels like every other isekai. And this is me coming from the perspective of my favorite isekai, which is Log Horizon. And I love the deep plots, the political aspects of it. I'm not saying this show has to be that, but it definitely doesn't have its own identity. But I'm definitely willing to watch a season 2, so watch out for that. All right, so I guess let's figure out what we're watching for the next video. Oh god, dude. I thought I was gonna get something crazy. I didn't think it was gonna be Fate. I was expecting like Naruto or something, but oh god, this is the first one? All right, so like half of the next video is gonna be just checking the timeline to watch this all in order. I know there's a crazy amount of movies, seasons, series, episodes, so maybe all of February I'm probably gonna watch Fate. Look out for that. Maybe we get some special guests, huh? A little guest appearance, huh? Maybe, huh?